Hi, welcome back to How Love Bites. I got a beauty for you tonight. Especially, tonight's a Saturday night. It's a Saturday evening. And I especially wanted to put this one together for you guys out there that are getting ready to maybe go out on your Saturday night on your meet and greet. So if you are, then maybe this will be pretty appropriate for you. If not, I'm hoping you'll remember it and you'll use it the next time you have an opportunity. Okay, well, it's about our favorites, one of my favorites, kissing. I love kissing. I enjoy kissing. Of course, with the right person, right? But kissing... So let's say maybe the first date, maybe that first meet and greet or the first time you agree to go somewhere, maybe whether it's dinner, whether it's a movie, a drive-by. You got to get out of the car, though, because leaning out of the car to get to the other car is kind of, that's a little rough. Wouldn't recommend that. No, especially in traffic. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. So, but I want you to think about some stuff, okay? Because when I dig a little bit deeper, I can see how some of these things come into play and just how they work. So, what happens when you look at someone you love? Okay, well, let me tell you what research says. Research has shown that the release of dopamine chemicals. Those are those little fun things that happen in our brain, those chemicals. That's one of the good things, okay? It depends how they're excited, I guess, first. Then that can determine why they're either good or they're bad. But they come from your brain. They're generated in the brain. And it does cause your eyes to dilate. So if you're looking at someone attractive, your brain is already secreting the chemicals, and one of those being dopamine, and dopamine will cause your pupils of your eyes to dilate. Now we're talking. Huh? And they will at somebody that you're attracted to, and at someone that you may love or that you may like. So, but what does it mean when your boyfriend's pupils dilate when he looks at you? What does that mean? Does that mean he's tripping on acid, or does that mean he's, under the influence of some narcotics or something? Let's just back up a little bit for starters. Oxytocin, okay, another one of our favorites, oxytocin, and dopamine. These two are definitely called the love hormones, okay? And they do have an effect on your pupil size. So if your brain is manufacturing them because, oh, baby, it likes what it sees, or maybe it likes what one of the other senses is telling it. Maybe it's your fragrance. Maybe it's the way you move. Maybe it's just your eyes that are doing it. But this surge in hormones, sexually or romantically, means you're attracted to someone. Okay? So the surge appears to be and make your pupils dilate. And that's basically what it does. So dilation may also be related to the biological need to reproduce. So we can think about this as maybe the body's natural function, maybe it's nature that's getting in there and saying, this one would be a nice one to procreate with. I don't know. Maybe. Our pupils dilate during a passionate kiss, which may be part of the reason why so many of us close our eyes. Because I don't know if you've been in a situation, maybe you went to an optometrist or something, or an ophthalmologist. I think it's usually an ophthalmologist where they'll they'll dilate your eyes to look back at the nerve behind your eye. So the only way in is they've got to dilate the pupil. So the pupil gives them access. It's like a portal to the back of your eye. And I'm sure that you, after you've been dilated, you've discovered how sensitive your eyes become. So that just may be why we close our eyes when we kiss. Because what would be the other reason to close your eyes when we kiss? I don't know. Maybe because you're having fun and you want to drift away. Go to another planet. Take her with you. Okay. So when we kiss, the autonomic nervous system responds to the excitement, sexual arousal, or the novelty by making our pupils bigger, which means they allow more light in, which causes our eyes to get more sensitive. Something a little bit more exciting and a little bit more deep into it is that during a French kiss, a man passes, now get this one, watch this, okay, testosterone to a woman through his saliva. Well, okay, baby. Didn't know you needed some testosterone, but it also has a factor in human. I mean, in humans, of course it does, but in a woman also. So testosterone does have a function in a woman. Over weeks and months, the repeated exchange may serve to enhance her libido. You ask yourself, why is that? Among other things, it seems testosterone stimulates her. It does. Scientific evidence suggests that a kiss can subconsciously reveal information about the genetics of the person being kissed, guiding us to instinctively sense whether or not he's a good match. Ooh, well. So, when we kiss another person, all of our senses are at work evaluating compatibility. And there has been a recent study, now that I think about it, I think a few months back, maybe 3 months possibly back, that they have done and discovered that the bacteria from a woman to a man during a kiss, through the fluids of a kiss, actually, they either shake hands or they're repulsed at each other. And if we've ever had a bad kiss, or if we just kissed someone and we thought, whoa, there's just not, something just was missing or something, and maybe not necessarily they didn't know how to kiss, but that's usually the case. But anyway, so that's a pretty fairly common reaction, the way it goes. And the University of Albany, 59% of men and 66% of women have ended a budding relationship because of a bad kiss. I've got to say that I really make it a point to do the best I can do and be the best I can be, not because I'm signing up for the Army. I had my little shot with the Coast Guard. I'm good. But kissing is important. There's no way you're going to go through a relationship without being able to kiss and being able to kiss well, because it all begins in the brain, of course. But what kickstarts the brain is the kiss. So guys, come on, realize it. I know you do, but I just felt I had to say that, So something else is that, as it turns out, that our sense of smell may have influenced the decision of whether or not you're going to stay with someone or you're not going to stay with something or someone. Why? Another person's natural scent, a smell which we may not necessarily register consciously, so it may not be that overt, or maybe not necessarily notice as unpleasant, can provide clues about his reproductive status or maybe his DNA that we respond to on a deep level. This is a level that goes beyond anything that our senses are going to pick up. Okay, this is being computed by your brain, probably frontal cortex, where the analytical mind lives. But that's, I think, where that process is taking place. So, for instance, women are most attractive to men who possess genes that would create very different immune systems from their own. The idea being that a man with a different immune system would put a woman at a genetic advantage, enabling her to have a child with a versatile immune system, strong immune system. Boys and girls, COVID, okay? Maybe, especially after these days, and I'm sure the immune system knows what it's doing. God made sure of that. And on a subconscious level, we can pick up clues about a man's immune system by smelling him. So, a kiss is really a nice excuse to help us get close enough to sample the other person's scent. Another thing we have to consider is that a woman's breath can also provide clues to a man about her reproductive status. During menstruation, a woman typically has an excess bacteria in her mouth, which often causes, ladies, bad breath. Yikes. Ooh. Eee. And that has historically been helpful to men when trying to choose the most fertile woman to select, or so the theory goes. Do pupils dilate when you're attracted to someone? Well, again, oxytocin and dopamine, the love hormones. You bet they have a real huge effect on the size of your pupils. So that surge can be noticed and picked up when you are, let's say you're at a meet and greet. So you're sitting there with her. You spend maybe 5-10 minutes, half hour, hopefully, long enough to know. You're watching her body language. You're watching the way she moves. You're watching her smile. And do her eyes, are they synchronized to the smile? Because that really shows an authentic smile. And not an illegal smile, as John Prine used to sing about, but a legal smile. And it goes all the way up to the corner of their eyes. And so, when you're watching for all these little hints and tidbits and clues, and then you see her eyes are dilated. Now, for those of you that are confused with constrictions and dilations, and, dilation pretty much means that you're no longer seeing the iris of the eye. You're seeing just the pupil. So their eyes almost look like a shark's eyes. They look black. Okay? It's really cool. It's pretty sexy, too. If you got to ask someone like me, thank you very much. Okay. Excuse me. So that's the size of the pupil, and that's the difference between constriction and dilation. Excuse me again. Eye contact has been central to human interactions. Changes in emotion might cause pupil dilation. So as your emotion changes, your pupils can dilate. The autonomic nervous system triggers various involuntary responses during emotions, such as fear or arousal. Some research suggests that pupil dilation is one of these involuntary responses to arousal and attraction. Okay, we get that. We know that. All right. So let's talk about the kiss. All right. So this is how you're going to do it. This is mine. Okay. You gotta find your own, man. You just do. Okay. Whether this is for a guy. This isn't going to be for a girl. And if girl's laying a kiss on you before you get to her, you better find out what the reason is for that kiss. I had that happen to me, but it doesn't happen often, let me tell you. But, I think it's something you want to investigate, So let's go there. So you've said goodbye. Maybe you walk into her car, or you're just out in the parking lot, or you end up at her car, and you're feeling her out. You're looking at her body language. You're seeing, is she making a meager attempt at getting out or getting into the car and taking off, or is she, making a mad dash, waving at you on the way, and before you get to the car, the door closes. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. If she's comfortable with touching you. Okay. And if she's comfortable with you touching her, I like to slide my hand, if it's a cooler day or night, and hopefully your jacket's open. Or even if it isn't, I'll try to put one of my hands around her waist. But just not, I have bigger hands, not just my whole arm around her waist, but just a hand. And then I would pull her slightly to me. And then I would, as I'm pulling her to me, I'd walk a little bit into her. And then during this time, of course, I'm still watching her eyes. I'm looking at her eyes. And then I would kiss her on the cheek. And then as I'm slightly pulling back, I'd look at her eyes again. And if they didn't look too badly glazed over, as to like, wow, what was that? Then I would work my way and still looking at her eyes and maybe give her a kiss, but only long enough for the kiss to have its effect. Okay? Kisses come with effects, They do. Read the manual, man. I'm telling you. All right? They do. And then either say goodnight or say thanks for meeting with me. Then walk away. Don't look back. Walk away. Show you're confident. Show you're confident in your kiss. Show you're confident in taking control of that situation by grabbing her by the waist and pulling you into her. Okay? And when you walk away and you don't look back, that's part of it. You're not being rude. It's not rude at all. So in a couple of hours, you can text her afterward, if you choose. It depends on who you are and, how the kiss moved you. How did the meet and greet move you? How did the date move you? It's all about how you moved, in a lot of things. But in this thing, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so you can tell her that when you kissed her, I'm talking text. I don't think you want to pick up the phone and call her. Maybe you do, and if you do, God bless you, man. Go for it, But I think you could tell her that, hey, you know what? When our lips touched, I watched you blossom like a flower, and I knew the incarnation was complete. Okay, all right. Well, that's a line from one of my commercials, my Calvin Klein commercial, Obsession, the perfume. The eau de toilette, or is it perfume? But anyway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, brilliant guy, man, brilliant. Great poet. Oh, baby. Anyway, so bottom line, that's, I think, how you do it. I didn't want to make it that long. I didn't want to make it that robust, but I wanted you to know some of the details. We look at it as a kiss as maybe something like chump change or something. Oh, no. If you can kiss, trust me, be a good kisser. And then poetry, right? Write some. Make it amazing for her. Make it amazing for you. Thanks for joining me. Hope you had a good time with this one. I know I did. And thank you very much. I don't know if that was Johnny Cash or that was Elvis. Thank you very much. Either way, I'm sure they're tossing it around in heaven anyway. Or wherever they are. Let's hope they're in heaven. Okay. Thanks for joining me.